when we say decriminalize nature, we're not just talking about entheogens, we're talking about decriminalizing ourselves, because we are nature. It which really means decriminalizing our consciousness and our connection to reality. Yes, for the last 4,000 years, I'll show shortly in this presentation, there has been an aggressive push into the narrowing of consciousness. Feelings of isolation, of depression, stem from this process of increasing isolation, and entheogens are our allies. These are some of the co-founders with us, and you see here this beautiful, diverse group of people that is Oakland, and this is from where we emerged. So, first we'll start with the war on humans by humans, or the emergence of the eagle. And I promise this is going to get at the very end very grounded in where do we go from here. But first I want to start with 4,000 years ago, the emergence of the war on land-based people. And here we see empires growing, and as empires grow, as people with strong positions of power, we see the assimilation of land-based people under their domination and subjugation. Slavery and genocide become increasingly distasteful to the more civilized people at home within these nations, and then so the national leaders are now pressured to utilize more sophisticated means of control. Things like voter suppression. The top priority of most leaders of communities of color, the highest priorities are things like underinvestment in schools, things like underinvestment in the aged, finding good quality housing for the elderly, finding good quality housing, period, access to good food, access to safe and secure housing, and neighborhoods. All of these things are the huge priorities that really impact the daily lives and stressors of these communities. The war on drugs is a priority, but it's pretty, down lower than these. As I mentioned, this has had a big impact on my own family, being Mexican, indigenous. Nixon and his supremacist allies and capitalist oligarchs launched the war on drugs to destroy advancing civil rights movements by destabilizing communities in America, as well as destroying the hippie Enlightenment movement. And the war on drugs is temporary success for them, for the folks who wish to control through fear and intimidation and anxiety creation, causing further division as the hippies, causing further division because many of the hippies go on to become lawyers, doctors, therapists, and entrepreneurs. And BIPOC, many of the BIPOC go to prison or see their communities further wrecked by the crack infusion. But on the flip side, we see the reported benefits of entheogens among users is expanded awareness, greater interconnectedness with nature and each other, greater understanding of the lessons of nature, and greater connection to spirit, and a greater sense of a reverence for life. Grow, gather, gift, share, and local economic models are by design about human liberation and sovereignty. So where do we go from here? This is the part about supporting the reemergence of the condor. In this case, the condor really is ancient wisdom. It's land-based wisdom. We're advocating for a different model than pharmaceuticals or medicalization. We're suggesting our teachers really are present and still present in communities of color around the world, because decriminalization is broader and more encompassing of people with lower privilege, lower income. So that concludes the presentation. Thank you.